it's Megan, and this is my Aunt Anne as
Hi.
a guest appearance on Project Runway Season 10, Episode 3.
I'm Tim Gunsmith's friend.
So the challenge this week is a red carpet look with twists and turns.
Oh, and by the way, when Heidi came out to announce the challenge, she had on these ugly tights, and the dress was cute gathered here, but
No, it was...
started out bad.
Yeah. But they wanted to look for the Emmys, and they incorporate a car. They have $300, and they design for past designers.
Yep, and they get a key to the car, and when they click on it, they're going to be in two. So they click on, and whatever car lights up, that they go to that, and then whoever has the other key that they drew out of the bag, he's going to be his partner. So it was pretty nerve-wracking to see which car lit up and who you're going to get stuck with. I mean, obviously, the Japanese guy.
Some people were a little excited. Some people were very nervous and kind of an awkward, oh, yay.
I'm so glad to be working with you today.
Okay, so the first team was Kuan and Gunner, which was kind of funny. We were wondering what they were going to do. And Gunner says, when it comes to fashion, I'm kind of a controlling bee. And they were with Irina, who is kind of a diva herself. Tim at the critique said it's borderline vulgar. It was a white dress, and they put a zipper in the back, and Kuan was feeling sad about it, and he couldn't work and fix the zipper, but Irina was like, this is your challenge, and you need to fix it. And it looked kind of like a wedding dress, but...
The butt was bumpy, but they fixed it because they put a chiffon throw around her neck. It went right over the butt, so you couldn't even see the bumpy butt.
Yeah, so Irina was happy after that.
But she was kind of a diva.
Yeah, she was really rude
with
to them. Yeah.
Considering she was on there, you would think she would have more compassion.
Yeah. And then the next team was Elena, and Christopher said that she escaped from the woods, and Buffy, and they were with Laura.
Yeah, and Elena said, in the Ukraine, if you do not be strong, you are the weak. You will not make it. Only the strong survive. So, yeah, she came from the woods.
Yep. And so they had black pleats, and Tim said they were making it way too complicated and too much work, and Elena was the perfectionist. But in the end, it turned out good, and Laura seemed happy.
Yeah, and I hadn't really noticed Buffy much from the previous show. She was just kind of okay in the background, but she went up a notch in my opinion because she had to deal with Elena's drama, and I respected the way she pulled that off. So Buffy gets a mark from me.
Yeah, she was very calm and collected when Elena was freaking out.
Yeah.
So in the end, it seemed cool. They had a cool neckline, and it was a sheer black over black and the pleats, and I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, turned out good.
Then next, it was Christopher and Andrea, and they were designing for Anya. In the beginning, Christopher was excited to learn from Andrea's experience and everything, but in the end, it didn't turn out.
It wasn't so great. Yeah, he was just trying to be respectful of her age, and by the way, Andrea is my age, and I think my design would be a lot more edgy. And speaking of edgy, that's my pet peeve because they use that in every show. Anytime they want to describe an outfit, it's cool, it's edgy.
Yeah.
I think next week I'm going to count how many times they say edgy. I heard it at least 4 times in this session. So
yeah, tally marks.
Yes.
Count it up
edgy.
For us. It was very edgy.
Edgy.
But Christopher said another funny line. He might be the most quotable designer. He said that Andrea is taking forever to cut out everything, make this skirt, and she's like, I can't believe I just effed it up again.
And then after he said it, you could hear her in the other room going, ha! And he rolled his eyes like, oh my God.
Yeah,
she was bad. So
they made this rocker edgy. It was the element of surprise and this open back, and Tim said it was, they were trying to close up the front piece, and they added another piece, and Christopher was really worried about it. They couldn't find a big enough piece of fabric, and Tim said, as long as it's dark, it'll work.
And so they got it out of the garbage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. And then they had the slip, and it was right up the crotch instead of on the side, so it was...
And it was literally up to the crotch, so when she was walking... Hope she has on good undergarments.
Yeah.
Definitely not a commando night.
Yes. Or when you sit down, it's just, hello.
Surprise!
Paparazzi. So the next one was Melissa and Dimitri, and they were with April. And April's one of my favorites. I loved seeing her back. And she had purple hair, so she's excited to have a gray dress to match her purple hair.
Yeah, but it looked when they were building it like it was going to be better, but it kind of looked like a straitjacket. I thought
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about it. They got in the middle of the pack, so they didn't really critique that gown. But when I really thought it was going to turn out better than it did. And April, and they had found no lining, and so it was definitely she was braless, and you could tell. So
Yeah, and it had like long sleeves on it, which I don't think sleeves work on the red carpet or for the Emmys at all. It's not sexy. It's
No.
just.
I wouldn't. When I go to the Emmys, I'm not wearing that dress.
No, definitely. Sonji and Nathan. Then they were designed for Valerie, and I really liked her. I remember she had lots of zippers on her designs.
Yeah, and they picked a really pretty gold fabric, and to me that looked more of any of the fabrics that were chosen. That looked more red carpet, except for I could see they didn't say it on the runway because they were in the middle of the pack and they got gone, dismissed, and they didn't get a critique. But I could see where that another common word, pageantee, could have came out, and in fact Michael did use that on another designer, pageantee. But it was pretty, except for the fact that their person that they were designing for, she was a little bit hippie. Obviously she's not one of these little model things, and it wasn't slimming. It was more clinging, but it was pretty.
Yeah, I love the sequins in gold. I think that's perfect for the Emmys. And they added little silk pieces like under the armpits a little bit, and then there was like a V silk piece in the back that was really pretty.
Which is nice because it broke up that solid line.
Yeah. And then there was Alicia and Raul, and they were designed for Mila. They're like really menswear, so they should have done menswear, but they did a dress, and she did not look happy. There was crooked in the back, and it was a mess.
Yeah, and when they got on the runway, they're asking why they didn't go with it, and they're like, "Oh, I thought we had to do a dress," and obviously they could have pulled something better. I've seen red carpet where they've put like a dress suit on.
Yeah.
They should have went with their strength.
Uh-huh.
Big mistake.
Yes. And then finally was Fabio and Ven.
And Ven is my favorite. I must stick up for him. I know that Megan always says he's cocky, but I just think he's confident, and he deserves to be confident. I mean, he's awesome. He's coming to my house to do my wardrobe right after the show.
Mm-hmm. And they're with Kenley, and she's annoying. And she likes her little modern Grace Kelly, and
yeah, looks like June Cleaver to me, but whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, Ven used his style and his tailoring and made a beautiful dress.
And you could recognize that it was Ven's work, right? And even the judges said it right away. Even though he was paired with Fabio, we really haven't seen what Fabio's aesthetic is. So you could definitely tell that Ven had taken the lead on that. And one of the judges, it's the girl from that Bee in Apartment 24 show. She looks just like Kenley. And when she came out, she loved that dress, and she said she would wear it. And Heidi kind of looked at her like, but they could have been sisters, so no wonder she loved it. But it was cool, but it was short. If I was going to go to the red carpet, I'd want to wear long. But
yeah, and something long and sleek. It was.
Yeah, it was like Kenley's stuff.
Yeah.
June Cleaver.
Okay, for the judging, on top was Gunnar and Kuan, and then Ven and Fabio. And then on the bottom was Christopher and Andrea, and Alicia and Raul.
Now remember, Gunnar and Kuan did the white dress that had the bubbly butt on it that they covered up with the chiffon drape thing. And famous prediction, I think that this is going to be the only time you're going to see Kuan on the top. And he was totally lost in this challenge, and he totally, even when they asked him who's going to be the best, he pointed at who was the leader of the team. You could tell that he had nothing to do with it. In fact, even in the creation of it, he was very despondent about the whole thing. He just was out of it.
Yeah, he was.
No cute little giggles from Kuan this week. No personality.
No. So they had this white elegant book, and they said it was a mix of elegance and sophisticated, and Irina was really mean and threw the designers under the bus.
Yeah, she told them that she said to the judges, they said, "How do you like it?" "Oh, I think the sewing skills could be improved." I thought that was, considering she's been there before, wow.
Yeah, that was really mean. Yeah. But Nina liked the design, and they understood the client, and they liked it.
Yeah.
And then Ven and Fabio designed for Kenley. It was tailored here and little pleats and everything, and it was navy blue. Of course, Kenley loved it. It was totally her style, and it looked expensive. And
the bee in apartment 24 loved it too.
Her style again. So they said it was definitely the technique of Ven and his draping skills that they really saw him, and then they saw Kenley's style in it too. So.
Oh, and by the way, Fabio came out dressed like an Amish guy on the runway. Okay, I think he got that from the dumpster along with his latest evening meal.
Yeah. I wonder if he eats stuff off of Runway. They feed him dinners.
He could eat it out of his hat.
Or off the candy dress.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah. So on the bottom there was Christopher and Andrea, and Christopher was trying to be so nice, and he was just bawling on the runway, and Andrea was not sympathetic towards him at all. They said you could see the hooks on the back from the runway, and it was hemmed unevenly, and it was cliche, old-fashioned, and she looked like a walking Hershey bar.
Yeah, and they said she could be the girl on the giving out the awards, and they said, oh yeah, maybe chocolates, and they just said this dress was so cheesy. Well, we're kind of from Wisconsin, so cheesy isn't necessarily such a critic, but we got it.
Yeah.
It was nasty. That's more like it.
Yeah.
Remember, that's the one with the crotch.
Yeah, that would be a major problem at the Emmys.
Yeah, she'd get on that magazine where they say, "What was she thinking?" That she'd be on that section.
Yeah. And then there was Alicia and Raul, and they designed for Mila. And again, they do menswear, and they were wondering why didn't they do menswear in a nice suit and tailoring when they did this hideous gown.
And don't forget about the horse.
Oh my god. So Michael's they styled her with this long ponytail on the side, and he said
fake ponytail.
Yeah, fake hair.
Cut off real blunt.
Just right here. It was gross. And Michael said, "There's a horse somewhere missing its tail." And so they didn't make any effort. They didn't use their design aesthetic.
Yeah, and the only color they had was they threw a red belt on. I think they had a little bit of red piping on the sleeve too, but they said that usually Mila is very chic and sophisticated and smartly dressed, and they said she looked very dowdy and very...
And edgy.
Non-edgy. The opposite of edgy. Blunt.
Oh.
Cheesy.
Yeah, cheesy. So the winner was Ven again, which was great. He gets to go to the Emmys with Kenley, but I don't know.
No, that's not much of it. He gets to go to the Emmys. If that was him, I'd ditch Kenley as soon as I got there. But
and then out was Raul, which we didn't see much from him anyway, so we weren't
But he was very
sad.
gracious about it. He just thanked for the opportunity. He was very good about it, but.
So Sonji and Nathan, Sanji, excuse me, peanut gallery again. She won't show her face in the video, but she'll add in her comments.
And her giggles.
Yeah. There, go ahead.
The butt was bumpy, but they...
Sonji, and I don't remember who she was with. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. Let's see. Was she with Rahman? Raul? No.
Raul, no.
Sanji. We have Alexis commercial in there.
Yeah. Okay.